Today we are gathered here to talk on the absolute fundamentals for the social business movement, on entrepreneurship and the 3 zeros. I think it's time that we get back down to the drawing board, to the absolute basics, to redesign our current self-destructive civilization. So without further delay, let us start the conversation. First up, we have some important and inspirational messages from a number of people. And I would like to welcome our Executive Director of Yunus Center, Ms. Lamia Morshid, on stage to share her welcome message. Ms. Lamia Morshid, please.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see so many of you today, bright and early. On behalf of the Yunus Center, I welcome you to the Academia Dialogue. I just want to give a little background to how this Academia Dialogue or the Academia Conference happened. Since 2010, we've been having our Social Business Day event, what we've just completed the last 2 days here in Manila. And it takes place every year on the 28th of June to coincide with Professor Yunus's birthday. He told me when we first started that we want to have a day to celebrate the work around the world. And so we've come now 14 years later to the 14th Social Business Day. When we were organizing this program, we found that every year the academics in the network were kind of sitting together separately to have their own discussions. Many universities have gotten involved in bringing social business into their curriculum. And at the Social Business Day, they were sitting together informally to have their own discussions about what the universities can do to further the movement. So that's, over time, it's become now a part of our Social Business Day. So we meet twice a year, once for the Social Business Day with the academics, we call it the Academic Dialogue or the Academic Forum. And then another time in the year, we have the Social Business Academia Conference, where we actually invite formal papers on social business issues and academia from around the world. This year, we were hosted by Asian Institute of Technology in April in Bangkok. And now we're having our Academia Dialogue. So there are 2 points in the year where we meet. The way the academia part started working out is actually 12 years ago, the HEC in Paris, which is a very famous business school in Paris, they came to Professor Yunus to create a social business chair at that university. That became the very first Yunus Social Business Center or Yunus Chair in social business at a university. It's the formal. After that, many other universities came forward. So it wasn't that we were going to universities. Many universities started to come to Professor Yunus and to us saying we would like to collaborate. And so one after the other, different universities started incorporating a Yunus Social Business Center. We have AIT that's also more than 10 years. We have Glasgow Caledonian University. We have Kyushu University. We have University of Florence. All of those are universities that have been running social business centers for more than 10 years. And the purpose of these centers became how you bring social business and the thinking, Professor Yunus's thinking, into the curriculum. And the interesting thing is that in many cases, it's led by the students. Many students would come to Bangladesh and see these programs on the ground and going back to their professors and saying, why are we not learning about these alternative ways of doing business, of approaching problem solving in the world? So it's kind of, in many cases, we've heard that the YSBC has been established by a university because students came to Bangladesh to see our social businesses, to see Grameen Bank, and demanded that this become part of their activity. Today, in 2024, there's 109 universities in 39 countries that have launched Yunus Social Business Centers. We had the 109th one launched day before yesterday, Chulalongkorn University of Thailand. And each one has an agreement with Yunus Center for the use of Professor Yunus's name. But beyond that, we don't control what the university does. They define their own programs of how they want to bring social business into their learning programs. So they have courses, they have research programs, they have, like AIT has introduced the first master's program in social business. AIU in Malaysia has introduced as well. And some have done global social business competitions like HEC in Montreal. Others are doing action research. They're giving these competitions lead to funding from the university for students to start social businesses. So in this 109, there's a huge variety of activities to fuel and to propagate social business. And each one is very unique. And my colleagues Zeenat and Tanzina can give you a lot of information about what social businesses centers are doing around the world. And many of the universities that have YSBCs are here today. I believe there are 12 universities from our network who are here, and we have them presenting also at different times during our half day together. So please listen to them to see. So that's how it all came about, and we're very, very grateful that you are here. And we're very grateful to President Medado from Asia Pacific College for hosting our academia dialogue today. We're delighted to be here. And maybe one day you will also have a Social Business Center. And thank you very much, all of you, for coming. We have 180 people registered for today, I believe, and 12 universities, as I say, which is very nice, bright and early on, just after Social Business Day. So thank you very much.
Next up, we have Dr. Maria Teresita Medado, the president of the Asia Pacific College, Philippines. Dr.
Good morning and welcome to Asia Pacific College. I'm really grateful that Asia Pacific College was found by. This is something that we need to celebrate, I guess, not only today, but for the rest of our years here in Asia Pacific College. I've only met Professor Yunus now, just right now, just about 5 minutes ago. And what impresses me about it is that really, I'd like to talk about humility, and I'd like to talk about pervasiveness. His influence is everywhere. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I really am so happy that APC was chosen to be one among the schools, the over 100 schools now connecting to Yunus. I'd like to mention as well that we are delighted to extend that warm welcome to Dr. Yunus, of course, and Professor Yunus, renowned, of course, everybody knows, the founder of Union Bank in Bangladesh. And the Philippines and Bangladesh has history together. And I'm so proud, again, that I guess every country is here. I'd like to mention them, but don't have the list right now. But you see, you stand here. I think Asia Pacific College is your home, and there are serendipitous occasions, okay, that will happen from here on. I believe because of this, it's a fitting acknowledgement that Asia Pacific College owes its existence to also a visionary philanthropist. And this is the reason why we welcome you with open arms. This is Mr. Henry C. Mr. Henry C. built this school, Mr. Henry C. Sr., and his enduring legacy, even after his passing, continues to shape our institution. Mr. C. established the college to empower the youth and drive social development through educational grants and scholarships, primarily facilitated by SM Foundation. SM Foundation owns APC 80%, and the other partner is IBM Philippines. Today we stand at the intersection of these two remarkable people, Professor Yunus and, of course, our very own Mr. C. This is the impact of Mr. Henry C. right now that you are walking on this stage. And with wisdom and passion, we will ignite fresh ideas and drive meaningful change. I guess I will end by saying that this is really serendipitous because now, today, you have seen Professor Yunus walking on the floor that Mr. C had established. There is a link. There is a passion between us. There is, of course, the vision of a long-term relationship between APC and your foundation. I thank you, Professor Yunus, for gracing us with your presence, for walking again on the very floor that I believe Mr. C has also created for you. Thank you very much and good morning to all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tata and the APC family for organizing. Aziz bin Tajuddin, Vice Chancellor and President, Al-Bukhari International University, Malaysia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. First and foremost, thank you, Zidan. Honorable Prof. Yunus, Dr. Midado, and the rest of the guests. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to be on stage in this very important event. And I believe for Yunus Center and the colleagues to organize academic dialogue is very, very important. Because as you know that we will be the driver, we will be the engine that will drive the other student, and the meeting together of academia is very, very important. And of course we know that a university is dealing with evolving knowledge, whereas the school deals with established knowledge. So the meeting of academia is very, very important. And probably some of you may not know Al-Bukhari International University. We are a very focused university. The niche area is social business, and we are very grateful when Prof. Yunus himself accepted our invitation to become our chancellor. So actually the university, from top to bottom, the focus is social business. We live on social business. And I would like to take this opportunity actually to, because we are meeting all the academia here, to a bit campaign for AIU, if you don't mind. The next level that we are going to stress a lot on the research area. So I would like to see here, we would like to welcome any academic staff, academia, who would like to join the university. Because our policy is that we take in 50-50, 50 local and 50 international faculty members. Currently, we only have got 30 from 14 countries. Even though the students now are from 62 countries, 1,300 students in campus, fully boarded. So that's one. The other thing that probably I can solicit some of the academia is to spend sabbatical in Al-Bukhari International University. You can share your experience with our students. We do have got accommodation in campus. So this is probably another thing that both international and our own Malaysian academic staff can think about, because we would like to share, to receive knowledge from all over the world, and especially not only once a year like this, but more of a continuous program that I think will enlighten and will give our students much more impactful and meaningful experience. Of course, also, as I mentioned about focus and also about research, we have matching grants that we provide to the academic staff to do research. And probably the other thing for the student, we also going to start what we call it semester abroad. Those students who have not got the opportunity to be given scholarship to study at AIU can come stay for one semester, experience the life of Malaysia, and also we bring you to the the areas that we do our community work and so on, and interact with our students, and probably the credit can be transferred back to your own university so that you will graduate in time. We are thinking a lot of also sending our students abroad, but maybe because now they are abroad because they are from other countries, we are thinking a lot about sending our Malaysian students to another area. And of course, we will be doing a summer course very soon. The first batch of summer course will come from Germany, actually, for 2 weeks to be with us. These are the things that we are moving. Academia dialogue like this is very important, and thank you very much for giving this opportunity that to highlight a bit about where Al-Bukhari International University is going forward. I'm more keen on more of action related things rather than theoretical things, because I think at the end of the day, what matters is what we give to our students, and the sharing of knowledge, because it's beautiful with the UNUS network that we have. We are able to do that. We do have got a public lecture series where we invited speakers in the field to give a talk. Our latest one, before I just flew in here, we brought in Professor Charles Hopkins, a United Nations Chair for SDG, to deliberate, and we have got a conference for 2 days. I forgot to mention to Prof. Yunus, if you would like to be there, because I know that you are very heavily involved in this particular program. My apologies. So we have got a 2-day program, and some of the delegates from Thailand actually they flew in through Malaysia from Al-Bukhari International University. Once again, thank you very much. We hope that this program will be a useful one, and we hope to have a more meaningful impact. The beauty, as Prof. Yunus always mentioned, we are a family. We should be helping one another. We are not competing with one another. The beauty of, I always mention, when you share your knowledge, you will not lose anything. When you share your wealth, probably your wealth will be less, but when you share your knowledge, you get more. And probably by sharing, you learn as well. So thank you very much. Thank you, APC, for hosting this program. I know how much it takes to hold this program because we did it in Langkawi last year. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and thank you.
Lots of interesting things happening at AIU. A lot of the universities have also collaborated with AIU to organize events, and if there's interest from APCN to work with AIU, I'm sure Professor Tajuddin will be happy to facilitate such engagements. Now I call on stage General V.K. Sharma, Pro-Chancellor, Amity University, Madhya Pradesh, India, to share some remarks.
Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus, Dr. Medado, the speakers, delegates, and my dear students. Social business is something which is very dear to all of us because it can transform the lives of those who are not privileged to have taken proper education, who are not privileged to get 2 square meals a day, who are not privileged to find jobs, who are not privileged to live their life with dignity. Why the students who are aspiring to become entrepreneurs are shying away from resorting to social business? Primarily, it is because of fear. The fear of failure, the fear of being ridiculed by their parents and peers, of having undertaken a business which is not that profitable, where the profits are not likely to flow in to make you rich, where the profits are supposed to be given back to those or the social cause that matters. So this fear must be removed. In any case, when I was entering the lift, I found written the values of Asia Pacific College. And one of them says integrity and honesty, which is very essential in life to progress. So fearlessness is something which is to be imbibed by all, particularly the students. And the fear also comes because of our actions and the results being not commensurate with what we think we will get. So my dear students, remember that you got right only to action. You got no right over the results of your actions. You cannot say that what action I take, it must give me the results that I desire. That may not happen. So therefore, remember, you got right over your thoughts, you got right over your actions, but not on the results of thereof. Therefore, do not remain attached to the results. You may have worked very hard. You may be thinking of topping the class, but you don't top. For some reason, because somebody else has worked harder than you. Do not get dejected. And do not stop working, because first time you did not achieve the results. You shall achieve the results sooner or later, because the results are not in your hands. If you remember this, you will be stress-free, you will be fearless, and you will be able to take actions the way you should be taking. Here, I would like to read out a poem by Dr. Professor Rabindranath Tagore, the Nobel laureate for peace, which says, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the word has not been broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake. So thank you very much. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much, General Sharma. I hope the students here, especially today, are very inspired by what they have heard. If you have any questions and you want to ask Professor Yunus or any of us, please keep that noted. We'll have some time to ask those questions. And now for the person we're all waiting for, Professor Mohammad Yunus, Chairman of Yunus Center, Bangladesh. Professor Yunus, please kindly come on stage for your welcome remarks. Professor Yunus.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, a little bit louder. Yeah. My role here is a role of cheerleader. So I am supposed to be on the stage and dance a little bit, cheer you up. That's what I try to do. I'm very delighted. I'm cheered myself by seeing you, because this is a very special occasion. We get a chance every year, get together from the academia, the world of academia, and share our thoughts and work that we do. And see each other and kind of plan ahead what we can do, what's our journey like. And we are very happy that Asia Pacific College has given us the space to get together. And thank you, President, to give us this opportunity. when we get together like this, we go back to the question, what is the role of the academics? What are we supposed to do? As a teacher, academic, faculty, administrators, students, the world that we create ourselves. And we feel this is a very distinguished community, which we are. What is the essence of that role? We go back to see where it all started. As human beings continued in its progress over the time, created knowledge, they needed a place where to keep all this knowledge so that it's not lost. The storage, reservoir. So academia, wherever we are, physical way, sort of a reservoir of knowledge. So we're sort of curator of knowledge to see, protect those knowledge, it's not forgotten, doesn't disappear. The more important than this protecting and keeping the knowledge is to pass on the knowledge that accumulated from the past to the next generation and future. So that became another job that we pass on. We preserve and we pass on. Hopefully, as we pass on, we add something. It's not the same thing that we inherited and pass on exactly the same thing. That would be a shame. In the process of passing on, we also bring in new knowledge to the young generation who are coming up. So that's where the students come in, who absorb the past and see the frontier, where we go. So this is well understood. There's no problem. That's what the research is. That's where editions and so on, the publications, etc. Questions come. Is this the role only that academia can play? Kind of distance themselves and look at the knowledge and pass it on and add something? I thought it should be more than that. So in the past, I raised the question, if you are a university, reservoir of knowledge, what is the use of this knowledge? If this knowledge is not changing the life of the people who are around that campus. Forget about the rest of it. So you must have a role as a protector of the knowledge, as a user of the knowledge. How to use this knowledge to change the life of the people who are right next to you. You see, university is not something up in the sky, it's right here. And people live around us. Has this knowledge changed anything in the next 5 years of the college campus or university campus? So that was the question. So I keep saying that, look, we should at least make a principle. If there's a university, there's a campus. 1 kilometer around that campus, the people who live there, the responsibility of the campus to see their life is changed. Otherwise, your knowledge has no meaning. You're just carrying a burden on your shoulder. You don't know what to do with it. That's where our role comes in, raising this question to see how we make use of this knowledge. Change the life of the people in a maybe very insignificant way, if you want to, or very significant way. If you can change the life of the people around the campus, we have something learned, something contributed. And this is good for enhancing the boundary of knowledge in a concrete way, not just writing a paper. Writing a paper is very important, but application is also very important. So we are on the application side. That's where the idea of this academia conference, along with the Social Business Day, came about. We get together, we can review what we're doing, what needs to be done, and we raise questions. And we raise questions in a particular context. At least we agree in general within the group that we are together, the family that we built, social business family. We believe that this world, the way we have built today, as we live our lives today in this planet, is taking us a wrong path. We have in general agreed on that. We are on a wrong path. And it's our responsibility to stop following that path and create a new path so that we don't destroy ourselves. This is a self-destructive path. We want to create a new path where we protect ourselves, and not only protect, we build a beautiful life. Protection is good, but not good enough. So we say this civilization that we are passing through is a self-destructive civilization. We have to build a new civilization. Who designed that path? That's what the academia comes in. Tell us, how do we protect ourselves? How do we build the path? Which will not only protect us, also give us a beautiful life ahead of us. And when we say build a new path, we also raise the question, where is the direction that this path will take us to? We even defined that. We said this will be a new world, new civilization, built on 3 zeros. That's our core kind of commitment. 3 zeros are 0 net carbon emission, 0 wealth concentration, 0 unemployment. And how to achieve that. And all our discussions, everything, how to achieve those 3 zeros. How to build this new civilization. Sounds utopian? Anybody? And we love utopia. Because you have to dream. Without dream, human life has no meaning. So utopia is a word kind of making you do things which others say, this is just a made-up thing. This is not real. And we come back and say, anything you want to achieve has to start with a dream. Very unreal. Transforming the unreal thing into reality is the objective of human life. And that's where we want to accomplish. Our academia conferences, all our distinguished members of the academy is here. And all the students today we meet new. We put our efforts together to make the dream come true. So we'll be holding day-long debates, discussions, and where we find a path, how do we do that, how do you take the next step, who is doing what. Excitement of it, creating a new world, creating a new civilization. Nothing less than that. If you're dreaming, why should you dream small things? It doesn't cost you anything to dream big. Start with a big dream. And if you can dream it, it will happen. If you don't dream it, it will never happen. So our work today, day-long work, is to go back to our dreams, and see how we inch towards making that dream a reality. And we believe nothing is impossible if we put our minds and heart into it. And let's do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Yunus. Professor Yunus mentioned about dreaming, and without dreaming, life has no meaning. So I asked the students here, what is your dream? What is your dream for a better world? If any of you would like to say something about what is your dream, feel free to raise your hand now, and maybe we can take one or two questions. Anyone wants to share about their dream? Professor Yunus is here, and I'm sure he would love to hear about what your dream is. Anyone? The young ones or anyone, not even the students, anyone attending? Yes, we have someone who's raised their hands. I request the volunteer to please kindly take the microphone to Dr. Shah. Yes.
A democratic Bangladesh, free from fear.
Inshallah, one day we will have such. Anyone else wants to share about their dreams? Yes, we have one behind.
Bangladesh. I had a dream that the waters of Bangladesh will be available for people to drink, our water. I had that dream. I believed it's possible. I did a demo, and I proved it. So this is to Professor Yunus's approach to dreaming.
Thank you very much. Indeed, access to clean water is a problem all over the world. And, once you face it, you really realize that some people, you don't even think about. You have water bottles everywhere. Personally, one personal experience I'd like to share. And so I have a little baby, and when I was flying from the US, I had to wash his bottles in the airplane, and I had to go like many times to the bathroom. The water was dripping like very little in the airplane bathroom. And I found that very frustrating. It was a big struggle. And then I thought, it's just me, one flight, 24 hours, I'm struggling. There are people who are struggling day and night for a drop of clean water. And I never really thought, because fortunately I have access to clean water. I don't think about this problem all the time. But there are people who are drinking dirty water from the rivers, ponds, and this is their life. They're walking miles after miles for clean water, and we take such things for granted. And personally, when I had that experience, I really realized that, things that we take for granted are struggles for people, and water is a basic necessity. So, indeed, access to clean water is something we should all have. And there are social businesses which are working on it. I know one, Shishir Water, which was YY Ventures worked on that project. There was Gramin Veolia in Bangladesh who worked on access to clean water. So great initiative. Thank you, Appa, for mentioning your one. Anyone else? I see a hand raised at the back. I'd request the volunteer to kindly take the mic up there at the back.
Hi, good morning. I'm Ina Brondo. I'm currently represent Ateneo de Manila University, and I also work with the Quezon City local government. I guess my dream, I've been, Prof. Yunus, I'm so happy to be here because when I was in college in Ateneo, I read your book, and it inspired me to use my management degree to help communities. Like, I can use my management degree. And now that I'm working with motherpreneurs, I call them entrepreneurs. They're entrepreneurs, they're Filipinas, and they're mothers. And my dream for these entrepreneurs, as an entrepreneur myself, is for them to be part of the movement, like because as mothers, we have the heart for it, and I feel like they have the capacity not just to help their own household, but to help other mothers as well. And I think our world needs more of that. So yeah, thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Completely agree on that. Any more questions? Yes, I think we have a student. Yes, can you please take the mic there?
Hello, everyone. My name is Richard, and my dream is one day there will no be plastic waste and other waste in our oceans, our beaches, and our mountains, our roads too. And it will all be replaced by all kinds of reusable things. Thank you.
Absolutely, indeed, that's very important. Not only are waste a huge problem for water bodies, it impacts the whole ecosystem. And we also have an organization called Yunus Environment Hub, which works on such problems, on environmental problems. And we've just had a zero waste competition organized by our colleagues in Thailand. So the Yunus network definitely works on this issue, on this problem of waste and environmental problems related to it. So if you're interested, please do look at our websites, the Yunus Environment Hub, for their activities, and see how, maybe you can do collaborations with the college and have a zero waste campus. It was really nice to see. I saw when I got off the car in the morning, like what do you call that, kind of a cage with the plastic bottles. And I never really really thought about this, but it did make an impact because it was an open cage, and that you can, put the trash inside. Most of the time the boxes of trash are covered, you don't really think about it. But when it is a big cage with open, holes you can see, then you're more encouraged to, throw your trash over there versus, a closed cage. So I think little things like that do make a difference. And I hope APC, I'm sure, is working on such initiatives on creating a zero waste campus. And if not, please do reach out and we can maybe work on it together. Thank you, thank you. Any more questions? Yes, I think we have one more. We'll take one or two. We've managed time very well, so we have a lot of time for questions this time.
Okay, so I wish for a world where education is possible for everyone, because I have learned that education is power, and with education and knowledge, we could never get poor. And it is important. It doesn't have to be academic education. It could be practical, as simple as baking a cake, knowledge, and so on. So it's very important for us to have a place to learn and access this kind of knowledge for everyone to use.
Absolutely, that's a very important thing you mentioned. Thank you very much. The Grameen Network also works on providing education and wants to take it all over Bangladesh. They're working. Grameen Shikha works on the education sector. Then we have the Glasgow Caledonian College, which is a nursing college where they train the children of Grameen Bank borrowers and also others to become nurses, qualified nurses. In Al-Bukhari University in Malaysia, I know they are bringing children from, students from underprivileged backgrounds to provide education. So definitely education, as Professor Yunus said, is at the academic institutions, that's where your minds are shaped. You learn what, you're going to do in the future, whether you're going to be an entrepreneur or whether you're going to work, at a regular job, whatever you want to do, whatever suits you. But access to education opens up your opportunities for your future. And as I mentioned, the Grameen organization is working to provide education to all, not only to the privileged few, but to all. So it's a wonderful dream, and I hope that everyone has access to education, clean water, good food, nutritious food, not only good food, but healthcare, and all our Grameen organizations are working in all of these areas, environment. So whatever you're talented in, it doesn't matter. You might be interested in IT, you might be interested in healthcare, you might be interested in baking, maybe open a bakery with people from underprivileged backgrounds, people who are disabled. There are such social businesses in different parts of the world working on that. So never think whatever talent you have, you can't do anything about it. As Professor Yunus says, everyone's an entrepreneur. Use it to create your business and make it a social business. So, not only you can survive being an entrepreneur and get market wages, but also solve a social problem along with it, because currently there's so many social problems and not enough people are working on it. Later during the day, we'll get to watch a bit of a documentary which highlights some of Professor Yunus's activities, and our colleagues will present it. But do watch that. You will see what is happening in our network, and maybe get inspired to do your own thing from it. And maybe last one question. Yes, at the back. Oh, we have two. Okay. Okay, these will be the last two questions. Yes.
Okay, I'm Farida Akhtar from Bangladesh. My dream is that no one will go hungry, and the food is produced by the farmers, not the corporations. We do not want the corporate plastic food. We want real food, so that's what we want to do.
Absolutely. Again, access to nutritious food by everyone is very important. I think a round of applause for her. We mentioned water, education, of course food. There are nations where tons and tons and tons of food are wasted, and there are people going starving, hungry, no access to nutritious food and no access to clean water. So if we can think of, again, doing a business, creating a social business to take food, nutritious food to remote areas, or serving underprivileged communities. Grameen Danone in Bangladesh makes fortified yogurt for children, and these are sold in the cities, and they cross-subsidize it and sell it at a cheaper rate in the remote areas, so children do not suffer from malnutrition. So again, this is every area you'll find that one of the Grameen organization is working on it. So Professor Yunus, who's known for microcredit, is not only focused on microcredit itself, but he has created so many companies which are solving other social problems, and they all need to work together. You have your money, and then healthcare problems, water-related problems, technology-related programs, unemployment, you name it, we'll probably have a social business working on it. So thank you for your question again, and the last one at the back.
Hi, my name is Erwin, and my dream is for universities and colleges departments to break down the silos so they can actually start their students working together to solve our world problems and solve the problems within the confines of their university and communities together, instead of separated into departments like management, engineering, etc., etc.
Absolutely. Again, I agree to that. I think all this, flows together. Like a social problem is everyone's problem. It's not limited, to the business department. It's not limited to, the management department. And that is why when we have the social business centers, the YSBCs, it's not something that can be established by only the business school or the School of Economics or the School of Management. It can be established by any department, and and social business can be created in any field, whichever you think of it, a social business or a business can come out of it. So definitely agree with your point, and hopefully such will be happening with APC, and we can have a YSBC working here soon in the future, working across all the departments, and social business out of it. So that's would be a great thing to outcome from this event. So I think the opening session part, we are done, but if anyone is dreaming of coffee and snacks, it's outside. Thank you very much. We'll start with our first plenary session in a few minutes. Thank you very much.